boom! So you hit the lottery. Whether you got PCS orders or you just decided to move to Hawaii, I've got the 7 things I think you need to know that I wish somebody would have told me before I got here. Coming up next.
Happy Island Homes, providing what you need. Ooh, all the information from the mountaintops to the majestic seas of Hawaii. Of Hawaii. It would be the beat.
Aloha. What's up, guys? AJ Gomez here, Abbey Island Homes, here to bring you the 7 tips that I wish somebody would have told me when I first got here. So if you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe, hit that little button so you're notified every time I have a new episode. So number 1, everybody's celebrating, you're happy, aloha in the air, you're coming to Hawaii. Pump the brakes. I'm here to tell you that you need to start quarantining your pets if you have pets. It takes about 120 days. Hawaii is a rabies-free state. They will not allow pets to roam around unless they have all their rabies shots and checkups up to date. So just to give you a heads up, they have a 30-day, a 5-day, and a direct release program. With that said, I would also think about leaving my pet with a family member back home. So when you first get here, you're going to be limited to a certain amount of hotels. We'll get into that in just a little bit, but leave them with a family member, then have them fly out at a later date so that you can enjoy Hawaii for the first 30 to 60 days. 2 is lodging. I think it's also very important. You need to start getting on the horn and calling whoever you got to call, call over here, get a reservation at the Halikoa, the Marriott, any resort you can, Ko'olina. I know there's a TLA approved list for PCS people coming to the island. And if you're not PCS orders and you just decided to move here, then great for you. Again, the summer, huge transfer season. So you need to get here and try and get something as quick as possible, at least reserved. I will recommend to military members, if you are staying here, stay at the Halikoa. That's my favorite hotel, or one of my favorite hotels. A nice beach bar, awesome pool, kid-friendly, down in Waikiki, middle of everything. If you're not PCSing on orders and you just decided to move here, well, you have plenty of choices. You can go to a plethora of locations down in the Waikiki area, Ko'olina, even hit up the North Shore at Turtle Beach. So with that said, that is number 2. And one other thing about lodging, when you're moving here, just remember that parking is an issue. If you do have a lifted truck or anything taller than about 6'6", 6'7", you're gonna run into some issues getting to any parking garages. Also, parking costs a ton of money, and that could also be an issue. That's why I recommend the Halikoa. Again, it's about $120 for the month, so you don't have to pay daily. And most other hotels or resorts are gonna charge you upwards of about $25 to $30 a day just to stay there. So number 3 is going to be shipping your vehicle. Make sure you ship your vehicle as soon as possible. It's going to cost you anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 depending on where you ship from. If you ship from the West Coast, LAX, or just go north to Seattle, it's going to cost you about $1,200 to $1,500. It gets here pretty quick, but if you're shipping a POV, the POV takes a little longer. It's a little stricter guidelines, and it takes upwards of about 60 days. So make sure to ship your vehicle as quick as possible to POV, and if you are driving across country or thinking of shipping another vehicle, just know that it's going to cost you some money out of pocket. So number 4, along with shipping your vehicle, when it gets here, you're going to have to register your vehicle. Registering your vehicle is such a pain in the butt here. You have to go back and forth from safety to registration just to get it failed. I will tell you that there is a non-resident form for all military members. If you are a military member, that's going to save you a ton of money. You'll pay a registration fee of about $25. Just get that from wherever you're located, wherever you get stationed. They'll give you a non-resident form, and you will skip out on having to pay for the weight of the vehicle, which would cost you, anywhere from $300 to $500 depending on the weight of your vehicle. So just note that the process does take a while. You have to get it done within the first 30 days. Like I said, you have to go to registration, then to safety. Safety will fail you, then back to registration to get your registration fixed, and then back to safety, and then everything is all good. But guess what? You have to do it again in 1 year. Number 5, when it comes to housing, you have 3 different options. You can either decide to buy, rent, or live on military housing. So if and when you decide to move to Oahu, just note that you have some really good options. There's some beautiful homes that you can buy on the west side. The west side is really blown up. There's a whole lot going on down there. They're calling it the second town. You can move into the Ho'opili area. It's a new construction area. Go up to Makakilo, Ocean Point. A lot of military members like to live in those areas, as well as Mililani. If you're not in the military, or even if you are in the military and you want to get a little further, you can go to the windward side, Kailua. Beautiful, beautiful homes, beaches, everything that you want to do and see on that side. That is like the Jurassic Park area of Oahu. You can also move into Honolulu, condos, nightlife, restaurants, dining, anything that you want. And of course, who can forget about the North Shore? The North Shore is amazing. So buying your piece of paradise by using the VA with little to no money down is such a good choice. You will be putting your hard-earned money to work in a market that has always been on the up and up. It's a little harder to find rental properties here on Oahu. They get scooped up right away, and the ones that are available are usually pretty expensive. Utilities can get really expensive, and if you're anything like I am, I hate wasting money on utilities. Telling the kids to get inside, close the doors, turn off the lights. You know, utility bills could run you anywhere from $400 to $800 a month on top of what you're paying rental wise. So if you've decided to rent, make sure you've done your homework and chose the right side of the island that's not gonna run you a whole lot of money to live in it. So the last and final choice is for military members. If you're a military member and you decide you want to move on to on-base housing, just note that there are some strict guidelines that they enforce. You're always going to have your decals, registration, and safety up to date. There are gate guards, so you will always have to have your military ID on you, and they will take all of your BAH. Number 6, the size of homes and storage is unlike the mainland. So when you move here, just note that the average size 3-bedroom, 2-bath is about 1,400 to 1,500 square feet. So if you're anything like my wife and you like to hold on to everything, just note that storage space and garage space could become somewhat of an issue. They are a little smaller and there's not as much storage space as you're used to on the mainland. So if you're wanting to get rid of some stuff, now's a good time. So number 7 is pretty big if you're a family man or a family woman. For your kids, you're always trying to find the best education that you can get for them. And Hawaii gets a really bad rap for education. So I will tell you this, Hawaii schools, there are some good schools here. You might have to pay for private. We'll go over public, private, and homeschooling as a third option. So public schools, I would definitely stick to central areas such as Mililani, Pearl City area, Kailua. You're gonna go north up to Wailua. You can go even into town to Honolulu. Manalua area, great schools. I'm going to go ahead and leave a website for you to check out. Go into the comment section, click on that. It's going to give you the top 10 schools. You can go ahead and click or sort through that as you like. It has elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. It breaks them down into grades and lets you know what areas to stay in or stay away from. Also with that, you can also try and do private schools. So private schools is going to cost you a little bit of money, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, huge tuition. So if you have the money to spend, then send them there, but there are some good options when it comes to public schools. And last but not least, a lot of people have decided, especially during this time of COVID, to try and do homeschooling. Homeschooling is a pretty good option. The curriculums, you can choose to do whatever you want to do. And that's something to look into if you decide to. But listen guys, I'd like to congratulate you on your move to Oahu. I know when I got the orders and I was told I was coming here, I felt like I won the lottery. I was so excited, could not wait to get there. I never thought I would be able to visit, much less live in Hawaii. So with that said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please text me, leave it in the comment section. Let me know what you want to see. If there's anything you want to see, hear about, want me to go check out, take some video of, I'd like to do it. Aloha.